Well,
Yeah.
I guess, actually, ladies and gents, that takes us off nicely to our first topic, which is the finale of Ahsoka. We're not going to spend too long on this. I'm aware a lot of people don't really like Ahsoka. So, whenever we talk about this show, we do drop viewers. We're not going to spend a great deal of time on it, but we do need to review it. We do need to talk about it because it's important. Why? Well, because it's the general direction that Lucasfilm is going in moving forwards. It's clearly a big part of their plan. It's looking like there's going to be a season 2, and there's a movie that follows it all up as well. So we're going to talk about it. It is the finale. I'm going to hand it off over to our resident Star Wars nerd in the nicest possible way. Nick, what did you think of Ahsoka, the finale?
Oh, I
Come on.
literally could talk about this episode and break it down for an hour.
Oh, please don't.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Like even in our review, there was so much dumb in this episode that we didn't even get to all of it, even in our own review of it. But thank God for the chill stream tonight because that's what we're gonna be doing. But just some highlights from the episode. Thrawn is Kmart. This is Kmart version Thrawn. Or no, not even Kmart. Kmart's too nice. It is like
Walgreens.
dollar store like version of Thrawn. This is not the Thrawn from the EU books at all.
No.
He just at the very beginning, he's talking about not underestimating the Jedi, how he's done that before, and how he's not gonna do that again. And then he proceeds to send 2 TIE fighters to get Ahsoka. Two out of the whole entire Star Destroyer, the whole squadron of TIE fighters that they have, which those ones in the bays aren't just the only ones he has.
And
He
I think
sends
it's important
2.
to note as well. I think it's important to note on top of that, right, is he's well aware who Ahsoka's master is or was, and he's like, maybe you're going to be just like him.
Yeah.
So he knows exactly. So he's like, contradiction. Come on, what's going on?
Send 2 TIE fighters. I'm like, what is going on here? So that was the first thing, and then the like I know a lot of people know about all the cartoon lore, the Dave Filoni cartoon lore, with the sword that came out and all that, because that happened right after Morgan Elsbeth got demon possessed, which was weird, but I don't know anything about that. But then the TIE fighters,
the sword of Towson, basically.
yeah. So I don't know anything about the lore because I don't watch Clone Wars and all that sort of stuff. But Dave Filoni told me that I didn't have to. I didn't have to watch Clone Wars. I didn't have to watch Rebels. So I was like, all right, no homework for this show. Awesome. And guess what? You got to do a massive amount of homework. And then we get to Sabine and Ezra again.
Sabine's got incredible force powers. What the hell? Where did that come from?
Oh, jeez.
You're not adept with the force at all, Sabine. What? What's going on?
Yeah, just wait till I get to that part of it. Oh, that was so bad. But the first introduction to the episode of Ezra and Sabine and that whole story arc is he's racing around through Ahsoka's auto parts store of lightsabers. Like anybody that knows anything about Star, everyone's talking about the lore, but then they're completely okay with her having all this extra spare parts laying around when the lore, if you read the lore, like Jedi had to like go out and actually find their own crystal. It was like a journey they had to go on to build
a
this
genuine
lightsaber.
Pilgrimage. It's almost like a religious pilgrimage to get your own lightsaber.
Yeah, exactly. But she's just got all the spare parts just laying around on the ship, where she can just make it all. So there goes lore right out the window. But he's like in this rush. He's like, we gotta hurry, and then they just right after that proceed to just casually just chit chat and like there's no rush to anything. I'm just like, who edited this show? And who wrote it on top of that? This is the dumbest thing ever. And then the TIE fighters show up. They're just as bad as stormtroopers. They can't hit anything, not a slow moving target, nothing, like, barely skim the surface of the ship. They graze it on 2 strafing runs. Like, you cannot make up the stupidity here. Like, this really happened. 2 straight TIE fighter strafing runs on a slow moving ship, and they just, barely grazed it.
Well, I think it's also important to note is that Sabine comes out and speaks to Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's like, "You did good, actually. I'm going to stand by you." And you're like, "Oh, okay, wow. Ahsoka the White is a thing." And then
Yeah.
probably what you're about to say is how Sabine then decided to ram the ship into two Tie fighters, right? Which
They were
one
perfectly
didn't,
spaced apart, just
yeah,
perfectly spaced apart to clip.
but also didn't damage the ship in any way. Actually,
Yeah, no. It crashes.
yeah, but that's because of the damage to the engines.
Yeah,
Not
because of
that
the
doesn't
damage to
damage
the
the wings of
engines.
the ship, the
Yeah.
things which impacted the TIE fighters. And then Sabine comes out and acts like a spoilt child, and like Ahsoka's going to tell her off. What happened to that conversation where Ahsoka was like, "Oh, I'm going to stand by you," and then Sabine's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, like I just had to," and then just walks off. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who edited this show? Like you said, because that
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's so dumb. But then they end up after that, after the ship crashes and they go through all that. They're like, all right, we gotta freaking get there, another way. And all of a sudden they have these rat dog things again. I don't know where they came from. Uh, they didn't show them previously to this point in this little caravan of theirs. But okay, whatever. And on top of that, if you go back to uh what was the planet that they were on that they hyperspace there from? Death, was it Deathmere? I can't, everything in
No,
this show
they're
so
on
for
Peridea, aren't they?
yeah, everything's so forgettable. Whatever the planet was, that they originally started from with the map and all that. When
Oh no,
Ahsoka
I think
was,
that was Dathomir.
yeah, was it okay? When Ahsoka was
Yeah.
fighting Shin Hati in the forest before she went to the little area there, she loses her helmet, but then and she hasn't had it the whole time, but then right when they're getting ready to get on the rat dog things to take off, she has the helmet back.
Is
And
that actually something? I need to go back and watch
yes,
that. Really?
yes, because
That's
they
bad.
zoom in on her helmet on that other planet just laying there, and
That's
she
bad.
and she hasn't had it for all these episodes. I'm like, why would she leave her helmet? And
That's
after all that thing with Shin Hati, why would she just leave her helmet there? Like, now we're gonna see her in the rest of the show with no helmet on. Great, because I'm, you know, I was like, with her helmet on, at least I don't gotta look at her stupid face. But then she just automatically has her helmet back, and I'm just like, okay, where'd that come from? All right, whatever. This show makes no sense, anyways. And then let's see, two more things. Oh yeah, so when they're heading in there, she's asking Sabine to help Ezra with the door, like to use the Force and stuff, when she's not ever demonstrated the ability to ever use the Force, not one single time in this entire show.
Yeah. In, in
Uh,
fact, in fact, actually, uh, Hu Yang is like she's not. There's no force sensitivity in her at all.
yeah, she sucks
At all.
basically, but she's like, Sabine, help Ezra, and she stretches her hand out to, like, you know, move, open the door or something. I'm like, Ahsoka, you're the Force user. Why aren't you helping? Like,
Yeah.
this is so dumb. And then after that, we get to the stupid zombie stormtroopers thing.
Well, what? Well, so yeah, so they were never zombies, and then they were,
Yeah,
and they
they were
eat those
never
big
actual
shots.
zombies. Like, so the rumor was, Thrawn's gonna have this zombie
Undead
army
army.
with the witch magic and stuff. But obviously, these guys weren't it. They were actually real stormtroopers and with real people in it. And it's not till after that that they died. And so I'm guessing
And
those
then
were
they're
all
equal. They're still
coffins.
still as terrible, even in death.
Yeah,
With
they still
killing
can't
people and
shoot,
things.
but they're just even more slow. You know, like as soon as that scene was going on, I was like, "Oh, we have zombies in Star Wars now."
I
Uh,
know, and they got green glowing eyes.
yeah, and I know they did it in the comics, but that's just like spin-off, one-off things, in the comics. I
Yeah,
I never really took that as anything for real, and but oh god, the show. So after that, we get to them sitting there. They go into the building, and Morgan Elsbeth is there. All three of them are there. And she's just like, "You guys go stop Thrawn," and Morgan just lets them go. She's there to stop them from getting to
yeah.
Thrawn. She lets two
Just go
go
around me. Don't
just
you
to
worry
fight
about it.
one. Just to fight one. I'm like, all right, something else that doesn't make sense. Well, Hu Yang, he gets that ship fixed up really quick because and it has like no damage to it whatsoever. I guess all it took was some wiring in the cockpit because that's all we ever see. Um, and then Ahsoka and Sabine are fighting the two more zombie death troopers, and then she gets into a bind where the plot calls for her to really need the Force, so then she automatically has it. And reaches out and then stabs the guy, and I'm like, wow. So she now has the Force for real now. Okay.
It must be a
Uh,
time of the month when the force is feeling.
yeah, and then after that, the Star Destroyer is leaving, and freaking
I
Ezra's
can't
like,
believe it.
like, oh no, like we can make this jump, and she's like, yeah, I'll like force push you over there, and I'm like, you just used the force for the first time, and now you're gonna
Once.
force push this person that distance. I mean, Luke had been training longer than you in
Ugh.
in the force, and he struggled to lift rocks and stuff, uh, and do stuff like that. And not only did she force push him, it was literally like a video game, like a double jump. That whole scene, I was
A
just
double
like,
jump is exactly it.
oh, this is so cringe. This is so cringe. And then lightsabers, they actually do damage now and actually kill people because Morgan Elsbeth just got scraped
You
across the
literally
stomach.
just a slide across,
Yeah,
just a flesh wound. She's dead.
scraped, and she's dead. You can be impaled.
It's
Uh,
fine. Don't you worry about being impaled. We
yeah,
we we we've got bandages for that. You get a scrape. Nah, mate, you're dead.
yeah, you're dead. You're done for. Uh, and then Pootie Tang droid, he happens to be right at the right spot, at the right time for them to jump off the cliff. Uh, and then they end up trying to chase him, and Ezra's on the Star Destroyer, and then Ezra apparently, I guess, steals some stormtrooper armor off the guy he killed, steals an Imperial shuttle once they get back to their own galaxy. Knows, and Thrawn doesn't pursue, doesn't try to. He faces no threat whatsoever in doing all this and escaping out of there. Knows exactly where to go to where Hera and the Rebel fleet is. Um,
Somehow.
and and then gets escorted in an Imperial shuttle to the New Republic ship, and they allow him to land.
Yeah.
Show up with tons of blasters and stuff, and he comes out with the stormtrooper stuff on. I'm like, why?
You got time to change, mate. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, you're in hyper. Just take the helmet off at least. Like, come
I
out.
think,
Hey guys. Like,
yeah,
it's me, Ezra.
I've got to cut back briefly on your review a little bit. So when Hu Yang, the droid, knows where to fixes the ship and knows to pick Ahsoka and Sabine up right just at the right time. It's also not just at the right time, and this is when you know that it's written in a really dumb way, as if the characters know they're being watched, because Sabine and Ahsoka jump off, the top of the fortress. Pootie Tang droid comes up, and they're standing on the ship now, but they're standing there whilst the stormtroopers just keep shooting at the ship. You just
Yeah.
fixed it, mate. You know it's just going to blow up again. Oh no! Apparently it doesn't matter. Apparently blasters don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, make your goddamn mind up. And that's that. Yeah, cool. It's a cool shot, but you wouldn't do that in reality. You'd go, oh, yeah, they jump off and then they just fly off like that. You wouldn't rise up. There's no need to rise up. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh,
sorry,
this
I
would
had to
be
say
such a
that.
cool shot if we see it rising up and them on it.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave Filoni's a hack. Absolute hack. Oh, and I missed this part too. When they were running to the temple in the first place and they were getting bombarded by the Star Destroyer, nothing. It did nothing. Like, these are capital ships that bombard cities from orbit.
God. Well, apparently not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Because their lasers suck and they can't hit anything either. Like, the plot
Terrible.
armor in the show is insane. But then after that, we get more dialogue from Ezra, or from Sabine and Ahsoka, who are now stuck on this planet in this new galaxy. She sees the owl. They had to throw that in there,
Yeah, the daughter.
for some fan service. And then we get the dumbest conversation between them, where she's like, oh, at least Ezra made it home, yeah, and we're stuck here, but you know what, we're where we need to be. It's time to move on. I'm like, what? You're where
You
you need to be? Why would you even be trying to escape in the first place then? You idiots.
I
I,
know.
I absolutely hated this entire
Yeah,
this
you haven't got to the
entire
best bit yet. The only good bit of the whole show.
Oh, Force Ghost Anakin
No,
shows.
Balin.
Yeah. So the Balin's not in the episode at all until the very, very end, and he doesn't have one speaking line. His
Yeah,
last appearance in the show is a non-speaking role. Like, what a slap in the face to his character
I
in
know.
the show. Like, he's in the entire series. In the very finale, you have him standing on the giant Lord of the Rings statues, staring off into Mordor, and people have been saying, "Oh, so anytime there's a giant statue, you're just gonna have to you're gonna say it's ripped off from Lord of the Rings." I'm like, no, it's the giant statue that looks very similar in appearance. It's poses the exact same, and it's sitting there. It looks like the exact same thing from Lord of the Rings. It's
Yeah, it
not
does.
because it's just a giant statue. It's the whole look of it.
Yeah,
And then Shin Hati, she shows up with the bandits, holds her lightsaber up, like, hey, like, I guess she's gonna be their ruler now. She's gonna rule the desert bandits.
so bizarre.
We removed all mentions of Star Wars from our channel after that episode. We are done. We're going to do a breakdown and talk about the direction of the channel after this week tonight, and I'm done. I can't keep doing the Disney Star Wars thing. this was like the final nail in the coffin for us. Like we'll hit on that on stuff when it's like hot news or something.
Yeah.
And then if people really want us to review the shows, we'll do it for our audience. But I just don't care anymore. I don't care anything about this, anything they're doing. I don't care to see Ahsoka season 2. I don't care to see the Dave Filoni movie. All these Dave Filoni male appendage suckers can just keep on having the Dave Filoni Star Wars, because I'm out. This was I just refuse to just put my head in the sand any longer with this and have any hope that we're gonna get anything good. After this, it's 100% done for us.
I love it. So good. I got nothing else to say on it, to be fair. I think your review.
F
I think
this
very
show.
well.
Let's move on.
Star Wars is dead.
Yeah. F this show. F Dave Filoni. Yeah. I'm done. The stupidity level, like it's literally through the roof from start to finish on this whole series, this whole episode. I'm done. If you guys didn't watch it, don't ever watch it. Just save your time. Don't watch it ever.
There you go. Succinct review from Nick there. Sorry, ladies and gents, for subjecting you to all of that.